Hey everyone, in this tutorial, we're going to unfold the concept of dictionaries in Python and learn how to use dictionary methods effectively. Let's kick things off by understanding what dictionaries are. In Python, a dictionary is a collection of elements where each element is represented as a key-value pair. The key acts like an identifier for the value, allowing you to access, modify, or delete the value associated with that key. And also the word map is another word for dictionary. So if anyone ever says map, just remember it's another word for dictionary. Dictionaries are represented using curly braces with each key value pair separated by a colon and individual pairs separated by commas. The keys can be of any immutable type like strings, numbers, or tuples, while the values can be of any data type. If you remember, immutable data types are types that cannot be edited directly. For example, you can't directly change a value in a tuple. Strings are also immutable, meaning you cannot directly change a character. You can use string methods which return new strings, but you can't directly edit the characters of strings. Instead, you usually just assign a variable to a new string every time you want to change it, even though you're not directly changing the exact string in the memory. So dictionary keys can only have immutable types, but the values can be of any data type. So let's create a dictionary in Python. Let's have a dictionary for student, and that's equal to a dictionary with these curly braces. And we'll say that their name is John, and their age is 20, and their course is computer science. And so if this looks confusing, essentially the colon is actually just representing something like this, where we had name John, age 20, course computer science. That's essentially what we're doing with dictionaries, but we're actually storing data. And so you could even just put the colon right next to the first one if you want, or have them both connected. It doesn't really matter. I prefer to have them separated like this, but some people prefer to have it like this for readability. When we print out student, we get just the entire dictionary just like this. So here we created a dictionary called student where name, age, and course are the keys, and John 20 and computer science are their respective values. When writing long dictionaries, it's actually a good idea to add new lines after every item, just like you can do with lists and tuples. So after you see this comma, we can actually just enter a new line, and then usually the last curly brace is actually at the end, just like this. Either way is fine, whatever you want to do. Now it actually looks more like that example we had before, where we actually just had it on each line, and it's still the same dictionary. It's just readability purposes. It's not evaluated any differently. We can access a dictionary's value by using its key. Let's find out the name of our student. So we could print student and then index it with name. And so as you can see, by using the key name, we can actually access the value John from our student dictionary. This is similar to indexing in lists and tuples. But for dictionaries, you don't use index numbers. Instead, you use the name of the key. Updating a value in a dictionary is as simple as accessing it. Let's change the age of our student to 21. So we can go down here and set student age equal to 21. And now when we print their age, now it says 21, even though before it was 20. And so actually, if we printed age before changing this and also after it, we get two different results because we had a value and then we changed it. We can also add new key value pairs to our dictionary. Let's add the grade of our student. So if we already have a dictionary and we don't have a grade yet, we could actually just add more stuff to it. We could actually just say student and then refer to grade. Even though there is no grade yet, we're setting it to A. And then we can print student, and we see that they actually now have a grade section. To remove a key value pair from a dictionary, we can use the del statement. Let's remove the grade of our student. So after we've set this grade, we can now actually just remove it by doing delete or del student grade. And now if we were to print this, we don't get a grade key value pair. And if we try to refer to it, we would get a key error since it doesn't exist. The del keyword can also be used to delete variables, lists, items inside lists, and more. However, most of the time, to delete items inside lists, you use the .remove method, and the .pop method is actually also available for dictionaries like this. So actually, there's two different ways to actually do this. This one's directly removing it from the memory with the del statement, and this is just another way to do it, which is student.pop grade. And we'll actually have to just remove this since it doesn't actually exist. Now if we were to print student, we don't get a grade anymore because we actually just popped it. So pop works the same way as with lists. You just do .pop and then you specify what you want to specify. Like lists and strings, dictionaries in Python also come with several built-in methods that make working with dictionaries easier. The keys method returns a view object that displays a list of all the keys in the dictionary. So essentially it just shows you all of the keys in the dictionary. So if we get rid of all this and just print student.keys, we get this object here. You'll learn about objects later in the course, but we get this object containing a list of all of the keys, and that's how you get all of the keys. The values method returns a view object that displays a list of all the values in the dictionary. So instead of doing student.keys, we could just change this to values and print that, and now we only get the values, which is John 20 in computer science. The items method returns an object that displays a list of the dictionary's key value tuple pairs. Student.items would actually return a list of every item in a tuple. So the key value pairs are actually separated by tuples. They're no longer in dictionaries. It's a list containing tuples. The get method returns the value for the specified key if it exists. So we can print student.get and then name. So if we wanted to get the name of the student, so maybe we had a bunch of other students, so like we had student 1, that was this student, and we had another one named Jack, and this person was 22, and their course was something else. And so here we wanted to say, okay, well, I'm going to get student 1 and student 2. I don't know what student 1's name is or student 2's name is, but I want to know what student 1's name is, so I'm going to do student1.get and name, and there we go, we get John. And if we change this to student 2, remember I changed this one to Jack, we would save it and run it, and we get Jack. If we wanted to get their course, we would return something else, because it's something else. And if you'll notice, if you actually enter something that doesn't exist, you'll get none. And you can actually change what this returns. So if we added a second argument, this would be the default value. So I can say unknown value, for example, and we just get unknown value because it doesn't exist there. And so depending on where you are in your program, if you're writing a big program, you might have a dictionary with lots of different things. You're taking stuff out, putting stuff in, and at any given moment, you might want to get a certain value. If that value doesn't exist, you might want to actually return something else, like maybe your own error statement or something else that'll be displayed to the user, whatever the case is. The update method takes another dictionary as an argument and adds the key value pairs from it to the current dictionary. If the key already exists, the method updates its value. So here we can just update, actually I'll remove student 2, we'll just update student 1's age. So we can say student, let's actually change this shift back to student. So student.update. And then in here we actually enter a dictionary, so we're entering age and setting that to 22. And then we're setting there, let's actually set the grade as well to an A+. So with this, the update actually takes in a dictionary as its argument. You can actually have as many things inside this dictionary as you want. It doesn't have to just be one updated item. So this is a great way to edit multiple things. And so this dictionary will actually edit student. So it'll set age in the student dictionary to 22, and it'll set grade to an A+. Congratulations, you've learned how to create and manipulate dictionaries in Python. Mastering dictionaries will significantly boost your data handling skills in Python, allowing you to write more efficient and effective code.